Hello, children. Now we are moving on to the new chapter that is called dictionaries. Understand, we learned a data type in Python. The first data type we learned was string, then integer, float. We did a lot of questions with integer, float, and strings. We know if I wanted to input a string, we can directly use the function input. If you wanted to input an integer, we need to typecast with the help of int input. If you need to input a float, we need to again typecast float input, isn't it? And then we learned what we called as list. List was actually having a collection of values, both homogeneous kind and heterogeneous kind, and we understood that indexing is possible, which we learned in the previous videos. This is an what you call modification of list, where we can actually give a heading to the values inside the list. So when we give a heading to the values inside the list, that will never be called again as a list. That will be called as a dictionary. You may be wondering why dictionary, because that's a word, that's a particular kind of a book which will help us to find a meaning of a word in your in English, isn't it? English or any other language. Somewhat similar here, where you have something kind of an indication or a label to identify a particular value. Let's see how is it created. Well, to be very honest with you, this is just a stepping stone to your standard 12. So I don't think this with the dictionary we are ending it, because with dictionary and with list we can create a lot more other data types in Python. So that is why we need to understand the creation aspect very clearly. List also, the identification of creation and initialization, how to give values, is to be understood more than the other aspects of how to do programs. For you as an informatics practices student, it is your strategy or the idea about how to create these things is more important. Then the rest will come automatically. So we will start your chapter 9 dictionary, where I have to definitely um, create a new page, because otherwise if I start with the old one you will be confusing. Let's close this. So many other things I've created and kept, but I'm not going to do with that. Let's create a simple dictionary. With this video I will wind up this week's portions, or this week's sections, and it will be continued in the next days, but it is recommended that you go through this properly, so that by the next week you'll be very proficient enough to do the things in your dictionary. All right, dictionary creation starts here. So there is again a variable name. I can give any variable name. Say, like example, I give a variable name here as winner. If I write simply 12, it becomes a variable of integer type. If I write this becomes a variable of type string. If I started to put something like this, then it becomes a list. And if I start to do the same thing with the curly braces, you can see the curly braces, then this becomes a starting point of a dictionary. Dictionary always contains the identification of a dictionary in Python is identified with the curly braces. And see what I'm going to do. Okay, cricket, and then I am going to just put one not. Well, it's too much. That becomes your first dictionary. The only mistake I did was I started with a single quotes and I tried to end with a double quotes. That was wrong. Either two sides single quotes or two sides double quotes. Then I should close it. So it is right now going to create a dictionary, or it has created a dictionary. Winner is the name of the dictionary name. Okay. What is cricket? What is 101? Is I already told. No, the label. The cricket is the key, or cricket is called as the label of your dictionary. 101 can be identified as a value. So for here to make it little more meaningful, I can say the game score of cricket is 101, or I can even say anything else like points, point 1, point 2. So that becomes a little more clumsy or not clear. See, point 1. Or I can say understood the labeling style. Let's go back to what I wrote first. And I wrote 101, or say test 1, 101. Whichever way, now cricket is there. And I'm going to show you what is happening when I print it. Since it is a dictionary, let's name it as 11. I already created and kept so many dictionaries, so I just going to put this one. See, exactly as I had put that in the curly braces, it is coming. I am going to expand this. As something different. So I prefer to give all right, the man of the match in the different series. So test 1, putting that in double quotes, and then I have to put the quotes, and then I can mention the name of the man of the match. I can say, so my first dictionary is ready. This time both the sides I have character. The second step, I'm going to again put test 2. Let me move this properly here, and then quotes closed, colon. You can see a colon everywhere. We will understand that colon afterwards when we complete our expansion of this. And then this time I'm writing it as, I'm sorry, I can't remember the new names, or I don't know the new names, so I prefer to stick on with the names I am sure about. Okay. And one more, let's add test 4 followed by a colon, and then I write, yeah, Rohit. So I completed my dictionary, and now I'm going to print again the same thing. So it came exactly the same way I did. Now I will show you, one minute, too much of things, so we have a confusion. I will show you the same thing in another way. So how this is coming. For sake, I'm going to give key in, what is key now? Key becomes a variable in winner. What is winner? Dictionary. In order to identify what is what, I'm going to show this to you. Print key, comma, I am writing winner, right? No, winner is a name, right? Winner of, now let's see what is coming. If you want, you can put a, no need, comma if you want, or a half hyphen if you want. You can put that and then complete it. Did you see how is it coming? Test 1 was the label which I was talking. That is right now gone into the variable called as key. I can change key to any variable I want, because to make you understand, key is not a keyword, but there are keywords coming up. That is identified as the label, and Sachin, Dravid, Kohli and Rohit are identified as the people who have won the match or man of the match, something like that. So again, to be more precise with you, dictionary is a collection of values which is identified as two separate sections, whereas the first section is called key. Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4 are called keys, and Sachin, Dravid, Kohli and Rohit are called values. So key and values. with the help of these two separated with a colon is how you create a dictionary. Dictionary can have integer as well as string key or string values. That means I can have combination of any of these things. I can go for some this time. Yeah, the old favorite marks equal to, let my key be this, and let me continue with your marks like this. Let my key be this, and let my marks be here. Let my key be sorry, games 3 is enough, and separate it with a colon, and that's it. This becomes my second dictionary. Again, if I simply print marks, it will come like that. And here, instead of this, if I do the same way, print here, and then same thing for some other p in marks and colon, and then what will I do? I will write p. So what is taken from marks? P. What is p? P is taking the key. So I put p comma, and then if I put anything else, a comma or whatever I want, and then I put marks of. So it is also like a location, isn't it? We always write in list 0, 1, 2, 3 to identify. Here I don't want that because I have a label we call it as key to identify, and that is here extracted in a for loop, and that is printed. So if you simply write science 56 language 28, so it becomes like that. Now to make you understand, so I just showed you how to label it and how to print it in the for loop. Now if I comment the for loop and show something else to you, you will understand more clearly what is what. If I write winner is there as well as mark is there, winner dot keys. What are the keys? Test 1, test 2, test 3, test 4. See? And dictionaries keys are printed. Test 1 is printed because I already gave print winner. If I give similar to that marks, everything will come, both dictionaries and value. If I give keys, what will come? Science, language and game is coming. See, so keys are extracted separately, so that time no for loop is used. Similar to that, values also can be extracted. So that is these two, values and keys, plural, okay, both are function which will help us to extract the key and value from the dictionary. Back to winner. Okay, so this is how you create a dictionary in your Python. Now, since I've already created and kept something, I would like to show you that here. See, the first dictionary is called tech. Just like that, I gave jazz, science. When I print this, it will print exactly as it is. The second is created this time with Madhav, and Madhav's score of 3 subjects. So this time it is a list. That means I cannot have more than one key, but I can have more than one values. If I wanted to have more than one values, I can put those values in a list. Simply without the list, if I put 45, 67, 89 and then try to print, that will show error only. So next is Jasmine's, next is Manu. So similar to what we did earlier, if I write keys, Madhav, Jasmine and Manu will come. If I write values, let me comment the other one. These two should be commented. Values 45, 67, 89 will come. See? keys are Madhav, Jasmine, and Manu, and values are what that first list, second list, third list, which are the marks of Madhav, Jasmine, and Manu, respectively. Now comes the next one, where I this time change the style, where I put room number. 101 is room number. There you have 11A. 102 is another room number. There you have 11B. 103 is 11C. 104 is 11D. And I did the similar kind of a for loop where I use key. Remember, key is not a keyword. Keys is a function that should be kept in mind. And I try to print similar kind of values will come, which you just saw earlier. Now there is something which I want to show you how to access it. Using our key, I can access the value. So if I write here a new value, see, dict2 is actually was having dict2 of 101. In that label you were having 11A. If I change, I can make it to 12A. And there is nothing called as 105 here, but I can create a new key after creating the dictionary and add on to that. Similar kinds of values, that is 12A, 12A is same, isn't it? But I can give similar kinds of values in your dictionary. But I cannot give similar kind of a key in a dictionary. That is, I cannot give again and again 101, 101, 101. Key should be unique. Value can be same throughout. Now error will come, which you will see later. So I am just showing you, and then this, let me just remove this, so you will understand now that in your dict2 often this time actually that 101, 102, 103 won't be printed. It will be only printing 11A, not 11A. Now it's changed to 12A, 12A, 11B, 11C, 12A. Let's run completely so you'll understand what I'm talking about. See, first dict values, then the original values were printed, the changed values printed, and the last value got introduced. If I write this after cutting it from here, and if I write it here, and then I put a print here just to make a space. If it is creating very much confusion, you should split and write, okay? This time I am going to make you understand that I added 105. No, a new key was added. No, there I am going to change it to 11D. 11D is already there. 11E with this time. So 11A got changed to 12A by us. We made a modification, and this is it. See. So two styles of printing with your for loop. So we introduced to you, or I am introducing to you, a dictionary. What is a dictionary? A new data type. For what purpose? In order to what you call explain our information with a label. The label here is called a key, and the information is here called values. Separately, key can be extracted using dictionary name dot keys function, and values can be extracted using dictionary name dot values function. I can also use a for loop to do the same thing, where I can introduce a for loop for X in dictionary name, where X will extract the key name, and using that you can find out the information in the dictionary. This is the reason why we actually learn list, to understand dictionary. So each one is a purpose. So this is just an introduction. You have to understand it in a better manner. So we will be continuing this in the Google Meet. For the time being, I am putting a stop to what we are trying to discuss, and let's see this in the next video continuation. Okay, so thank you very much.